In 2021, SPACs, special purpose acquisition companies, came onto everyone's radar when a SPAC called Digital World Acquisitions Group announced a merger with Trump's Technology and Media Group. I don't know if that's the exact name of it, but it was Trump's company that he intends to start a new social network with. And since that merger was announced, the Digital World Acquisitions Group stock just kind of went bonkers, and it's pretty much stayed there. I think it's had about a 4 or 5x return since it announced that acquisition, and it's been, I don't want to say fairly level, but in the SPAC world, it has been relatively stable around that valuation. So it has done well, but this kind of attention to SPACs and SPACs coming onto everyone's radar, mind you, I didn't even know what a SPAC was before I started looking into this Digital World Acquisition and Trump thing, and that's probably going for 99.9% of the active investors out there. Nobody really had heard what the hell a SPAC was, unless you were just really into that space. But they came on everyone's radar, and now everyone is all interested in SPACs, and there's all kinds of celebrities out there that are promoting their SPAC or have some type of SPAC, yada, yada, yada. So I wanted to kind of take a look and talk about how the returns have been historically or over the past year for these SPACs. Well, here's some kind of shocking news. This might not be shocking, but 21 out of 33 SPACs tied to famous personas have had a negative return in 2021. So 21 out of 33 SPACs tied to famous personas or celebrities have had a negative return. Only 2 of them, excluding Trump SPAC, have had gains of more than 10%. In rapper Jay-Z's SPAC, which was acquiring or investing in some type of cannabis company, I don't know the full details on it, but that SPAC is down 84%. Now, outside of SPACs associated with celebrity personas, the IPOC SPAC Index, a basket of 50 D-SPACs, so these are going to be SPACs that plan to actually have a merger, as well as SPACs that haven't found a partner yet, have slumped 16%. So they are down 16% on the year. And these are SPACs, this is more of a broad market of SPACs, not necessarily associated with celebrities, right? So the broad basket of SPACs, the IPOC SPAC Index, down 16%. Meanwhile, this year, the S&P 500, as measured by total return, is up about 29%. So how does that make SPACs look? I mean, it doesn't really take a rocket scientist or much in-depth questioning there to kind of show and illustrate the risk behind SPACs and their relative underperformance this year. And I think that, that underperformance is probably going to keep continuing. One thing we can point out here is that the actual IPOC SPAC index, down 16%, is down just as well as so are the SPACs that are tied with persona celebrities, right? So that's showing me that, having a celebrity involved is not necessarily a higher risk activity or a bad thing. I mean, it's certainly not a good thing. It certainly doesn't correlate statistically with something good or outsized returns, but broadly, SPACs just underperform. And why is that? Well, I'm not exactly sure on that. Possibly these things get overhyped and then their value, goes up and then everybody loses interest in them. Possibly it has to do more with management taking some type of fee and drawing actual salaries out of the SPAC. I don't know if that is the thing or not, but it probably is. I would guess that managers of the SPACs do draw salary, so they're expending cash even though they haven't actually found an acquisition or made an acquisition. Kind of like a search fund, right? And a search fund's totally different topic, but it's kind of like a SPAC non-public. That's where somebody is actually being paid to search for a small business to acquire, and that's probably what's happening with SPACs as well. So I think the big thing I wanted to point out here is A, SPACs are not doing well, and B, they're not doing well even if they're associated with a celebrity persona. What's your thoughts on this? Have you invested in any SPACs? Let me know in the comments below.